First up, we're headed to South America to one of the most spectacular waterfalls on planet Earth, Iguazu Falls, located on the border of Argentina and Brazil. Located in the Iguazu National Park, it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Typically, people who want to visit here arrive in Buenos Aires and then take a flight to Iguazu. The main area of the waterfall is called the Devil's Throat Canyon. It's 300 feet wide and 260 feet deep. There also is a walkway around the waterfall. Next up, we're headed to the Arabian Desert where Petra, Jordan, is located. This is home to the ancient Nabateans, and currently the Bedouin people live here. This archaeological site is 150 miles away from Jerusalem and 150 miles away from Amman, so you can get there both ways. It is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. At one point in time, the Romans had expanded their empire into Petra around 106 AD. It takes a full day to explore this site, and you can explore at night and in the daytime as well. Next up, we're headed to Cappadocia here in Turkey, another famous rock formation city that was built into caves. Nowadays, it is a historical heritage site as well, which also is commonly seen with hot air balloons flying around the area, providing you with a bird's eye view of just how amazing the landscape of this city really is. You can easily catch a flight from Istanbul's two major airports to Cappadocia. Kayseri is the main airport that you would pick. Next up, we're headed to Costa Rica right here in Central America, one of the most biodiverse countries on planet Earth. Many species of birds, mammals, and flora and fauna abundant everywhere you look. Do be sure to check out the wildlife in Manuel Antonio and the hot springs around La Fortuna and the beaches on the Caribbean and Pacific side. If you wanted to get to Costa Rica, there's two airports, one in San Jose and the other in the north in Liberia. You will need at least 2 to 3 weeks to explore this whole country. Next up, we're headed to Eastern Africa to Tanzania. This is home to Mount Kilimanjaro, also home to many incredible wildlife safaris that you can do, along with trekking up to the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro. And there is Kilimanjaro in the background. Also, don't forget to head over to the coast to Zanzibar and check out this turquoise water. And when you arrive, you can say Jambo, which is hello in Swahili, and Hakuna Matata, which means no worries. Now we are headed to Southeast Asia to Cambodia. This here is Angkor Wat, located in Siam Reap. Located deep in the rainforest in the former Khmer Empire under the reign of King Suryavarman. This was one of the largest religious sites in planet Earth when it was developed. Over 400 acres, the main temple complex is surrounded by a moat. Originally constructed as a Hindu temple for the god Vishnu around the 12th century. And now we're headed back to South America off the coast of Ecuador to the Galapagos Islands, one of the most amazing volcanic archipelagos on planet Earth. There is over 18 main islands with 3 smaller islands, and it was made famous by Charles Darwin, who is said to have developed his theory of evolution right here in the Galapagos Islands. There are many unique species of plants and animals like the giant tortoise, marine iguana, the blue-footed boobies, penguins, and much more. Next up, we're headed back to Southeast Asia to the gem of Indonesia, Bali. Known for its many temples, volcanic mountains like Agung, rice terraces, beautiful beaches, friendly people, and incredibly rich culture. With many different beaches, some of the popular towns to stay are going to be Kuta, Legion, Seminyak, Uluwatu. And the airport that you'll arrive in is located in the capital of the island called Denpasar. While here, prepare to eat lots of seafood, mee goreng, and nasi goreng, which basically translates to fried rice. Next up, we're headed to the west coast of Italy to the Cinque Terre, which basically translates to the 5 towns. Those 5 towns are Vernazza, Cornelia, Manarola, Rio Maggiore, and Monterosa al Mare. While here, do indulge in some of the local seafood, along with the local cuisine, including pesto and wine. As you will see, there are many grapes growing on the sides of the hills. You can walk around the villages and see the amazing colorful houses and views that they offer here, as well as do some hiking and swimming. Now we're headed to the Indian Ocean. Right in the middle is the small island nation of the Maldives, which consists of over 1,000 coral islands and 26 atolls. The capital is Mali, which is considered one of the most densely populated capitals on Earth. While here, you'll experience stunning beaches and crystal clear waters full of marine life. Best time to visit is dry season, December to March. Next up, we're headed over to Tahiti, which is in French Polynesia. More specifically, you want to check out Bora Bora. This volcanic island is surrounded by a coral reef, and it is absolutely stunning. Tahiti is home to many popular tourist destinations like Moorea, with these floating beach bungalows over the water. Tahiti is divided into 2 parts, Tahiti Nui and Tahiti Iti. You will arrive here in Papeete at the airport of Fa'a'a. Here we are in Peru, again in South America, this nation is home to some of the most amazing sights on Earth. The Atacama Desert, the Andes Mountains and the Amazon, Lake Titicaca, the capital of Lima, and Machu Picchu. Be sure to also explore Cusco. Now we're headed to Southeast Asia, to the Philippines, a place that is considered one of the premier travel destinations of the 21st century with over 7,000 islands and 109 million people living here. You originate in Manila and then you head out to one of those amazing tropical islands. Some of the favorites here are Palawan and El Nido, Boracay, Bohol, as well as Surigao del Sur. Now we are headed to the wonderful Taj Mahal located in Agra. This here mausoleum was built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in the year 1632 and completed in 1653 for his beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal. The dome of the Taj Mahal is 73 meters high and the exterior is made of white marble. It glimmers in the sun and there is a reflection pool that overlooks a beautiful garden. Next up, we're headed to the highest mountain peak in the world, Mount Everest, located in the Himalaya Mountains. Now this borders between Nepal and Tibet, also northern India. The elevation of Mount Everest is 29,000 feet. The first summit of this mountain was completed on 1953 by Sir Edmund Hillary of New Zealand and Tenzing Norgay, a Sherpa from Nepal. Heading back down to South America, we are coming to you from Rio de Janeiro here in the southeastern part of Brazil. Famous for its carnival celebrations, beautiful beaches like Copacabana, Ipanema, Leblon, just to name a few, as well as Christ the Redeemer statue, going to the top of Corcovado Mountain and Sugarloaf Mountain. They do speak Portuguese here, so bom dia, which means good morning. Spending 3 to 5 days in Rio is definitely time well spent. Next up, we're headed back to Italy. This time we're on the Adriatic side over in Venice. Built on a group of small islands separated by canals, it is famous for gondola rides, also because it was a historical trading and commerce area during the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. Nowadays, you can visit the Piazza San Marco, St. Mark's Basilica, the Grand Canal area, and really just take in all of the history. It does get crowded though, and they now require a reservation to visit. Now we're on our way to the Canadian Rockies to Banff. Now there is a town here and also several different lakes. It's surrounded by spectacular mountains, glaciers, lakes, forests. People come up here for skiing, snowboarding, mountain biking, you name it. Very popular place. Also, there is the Banff Hot Springs and the popular lakes known as Peyto Lake and Lake Louise. We're staying in Canada and we're going to the east. This time we're going to Niagara Falls, located along the Niagara River. It actually borders between the United States and Canada and consists of 3 separate waterfalls: Bridal Veil Falls, American Falls, and Horseshoe Falls. While you're here, you can actually take a helicopter ride, do a boat tour up to the waterfalls where it gets very misty, or just look from above upon the observation decks. The Canadian side is considered the most well-known. Heading out to the middle of the Pacific, this time we're headed to the island of Maui for the road to Hana. This windy road is 52 miles long and goes through the lush rainforest on the island, where you'll see many different waterfalls and beautiful coastline views. Some of the towns you'll stop along the way are Paia, Haiku, and Hana at the very end, where you will find a red sand beach, a black sand beach, and a white sand beach, Wailua Falls, and the 7 sacred pools. On our way down to Patagonia here in South America, it is located in Chile and Argentina. This majestic region is mountainous and lush. Here you will find glaciers, marble caves for kayaking around, lots of different wildlife, including llamas, pumas, flamingos, and other animals. You also have the area of Tierra del Fuego and the famous southern village known as Ushuaia. Now we're actually headed over towards Australia to the outback. This here is Uluru Rock, formerly known as Ayers Rock. This is really a unique place in the middle of Australia. There's no big cities anywhere to be seen for hundreds and thousands of miles in either direction. With a circumference of 5.8 miles, it is considered the world's largest rock monolith. Heading back to Europe, this time we're headed to the Swiss Alps, a popular ski resort destination with towns including Zermatt, which is considered the base camp for the Matterhorn mountain. One of the best ways to see the Swiss Alps is by train. You can get the Golden Pass, and you can check out the towns and villages in between, where there's Interlaken, Lauterbrunnen, Grindelwald, and so many special places. But again, most people like to go here for the skiing in the Swiss Alps. But the good news is you can visit the Swiss Alps during the winter, the spring, the fall, and the summer and enjoy it. On our way back down to Africa, this time we're in Egypt, exploring the ancient Egypt, where the Sphinx and the pyramids of Giza are along the Nile River. Here you can find the Great Pyramid and the tombs that are located near Cairo. If you head south toward Aswan, you end up in places like Luxor, Abu Simbel, Valley of the Kings. Also, while here, you can actually take a Nile River cruise and explore all of the ancient sites from the luxury of a tour boat. I recommend at least 7 days to explore all of ancient Egypt. Now we're actually headed way up north. This time we're headed to Iceland, a volcanic island with tons of water and streams and rivers running all throughout here, where you'll find many different waterfalls and actually active lava flow. Known as the land of fire and ice, you can also do geothermal pools like this one at the Blue Lagoon, and other geysers are here. You will see a very beautiful green side of Iceland as well, the majestic horses and other wildlife, along with herds of sheep, as well as the midnight sun. And if you stick around long enough, you might find the Northern Lights. Now, the Northern Lights are a thing that you'll want to see, but not exclusive to Iceland. You can